Hi everybody, today we're going to do our Kinstretch at noon today. And we're going to kind of do things a little differently where we're not going to go through kind of a fully developed class. We're actually just going to kind of work on some other drills that we are part of full classes. It'll be good practice and hopefully a good chance that you're able to get away from your desk or whatever you're working on, get some mobility in, kind of a movement break from those positions that you were in. Practice some of these drills so we can get a little smoother when we do the fully developed Kinstretch class. Just give me one moment to set up. The only thing you're going to need today, because we're going to be doing some hovers, is some type of object like a shoe. I know all of you guys should have some type of shoe. I'm going to use a sandal or something about that size, which we're going to be lifting our leg up and over and back down. So if you want to go and grab something like that real quick while I set up, go ahead. Okay, so one difference with today's class is that we're not going to be doing our full body controlled articular rotations. That does eat up quite a bit of time. That's something I'm hoping that some of you are actually doing kind of daily now. And there is a video on our YouTube page that will take you through a bunch of good ones. So that's worth kind of watching, practicing to get a little smoother. Well, we're just going to kind of break it down, do an abbreviated class here. We'll work on some of the basic drills here and some new stuff that I think you'll enjoy. But the first thing we do need to do is kind of do our static capsular stretch, and we'll kind of go from there. So let's get into it. By now you should be kind of familiar if you follow along with this 90-90 hip stretch. So again, what does it look like? My femur's kind of sticking out, what we call our ASIS, right here, and then 90 degrees at the knee. And then you can put 90 degrees at the foot with this backside just like this, same kind of idea, 90 degrees, okay? And in this position, I do want to try to be as upright as possible. You can see I'm using my kickstand. Down from there, I'm going to stretch out my spine into extension. Then I'm going to fold over, getting a nice stretch of this back hip capsule here. It may just take practice, but this is worth doing. We're going to hang out for about 2 minutes before we get into our other drills. Now, clock is running, but I'll kind of go over some other stuff. If this top knee, if I'm like this, and it's up and it won't sit flat, I need to just pull my foot in like this and it'll kind of flatten out. Most of the time, what really messes up a good 90-90 position is this backside. So this hip, losing internal rotation when we're in the 90-90, is going to tip the hip over, makes this side rise, which kind of messes things up for both the torso and this front leg, because it's very easy to kind of lose space for internal rotation in this back hip. It's actually a sign of a kind of a unstable, unhealthy hip. Internal rotation at both the shoulder and the hip, it's very telling. It's a great assessment on the health of that hip. If we don't have that internal rotation, that is something that should be addressed. We should be doing a lot more Kinstretch and functional range conditioning to work on it. Okay, as I kind of exaggerate the stretch here, I actually have a little arch in the back, a little anterior tilt. And it's almost like I'm trying to get my belly button over the side here, being aware that I'm not just getting stuck, and then I'm folding here, flexing through the spine, thinking I'm getting further while I'm not. To me, this one is more about finding the sensation in the capsule, rather than kind of being focused on how far you can get down. Sometimes me, if I get really good anterior tilt and tip right about here, I feel it more than really kind of chasing and trying to get further, where I'm no longer kind of hinging in that hip capsule joint. I'm really just kind of flexing over. We'll go a little longer, and then we'll switch to the other side. Got some good stuff today, some hips, some hamstrings, which we don't address that often. A little bit of shoulder internal, external rotation. Hope you guys get a nice little break here before you go back to work or whatever you're doing. Good. I'm going to switch to the other side. It's a great job to work on a 90-90 shin box or kinetic movement switch here. So I'm going to work on getting upright. I don't want to do that re-leaning that we'll talk about, okay? And I'm going to work on picking up this back leg. And I'm going to kind of switch it over so I'm almost in the butterfly position before going to the other side. So I set my kickstands or however much I need to lean over. You may look like this. What I don't want to do is I go to move it, I re-lean, as we would say, re-bend, okay? So when I'm here, I'm going to try to pick up my foot and my knee at the same time, keeping as high as I can off the floor. I'm going to put it down gently. Hips kind of tip over. Again, set my kickstand so I do not need to re-lean. Always focus on picking up the heel at the same time as the whole leg, because that's the hard part. And then now, internally rotating, staying up as tall as I can, reaching back and putting it down into that internally rotated 90-90 position, and then adjusting from there, okay? So don't, wherever you ended up, if it's not quite the 90-90, go ahead and fix yourself so we can start the static stretch on the other side. What I also like to do, or what I also like getting out of starting with this 90-90 static stretch is use it as an assessment on either myself, the condition of my hips that day, or someone I'm working with. Because if it looks like shit, that's where we have to start. We're going to start with the hips, the big joint here, and try to recover as much range of motion, especially on the, in regards to internal rotation, before we get anywhere else. Okay? If we don't have that good internal rotation, external rotation, we can probably assume that we're going to have issues down chain, which is going to be your knee, which is going to be your ankle, your toes, whatever. That needs to be addressed, or up chain, so we're talking about low back. Same thing, my knee is right up in front here. I'm trying to get my belly button over the other side, so I'm not rounding and trying to flex to get lower. I'm arching the back, so you may even feel the back muscles kind of fire up, trying to pull the back side of your pelvis into the anterior tilt. Almost like I'm trying to get my butt crack off the floor rather than tucked under like this, okay? One more minute here. For that very specific stretch. To me, it's almost like very specific right across the capsule, deep in my hip. If I were to think about reaching into my back pocket if I had jeans on, that's kind of where it would be. Now, if you have other tight tissues anywhere along this groin, maybe this front side, down the abductor magnus, just means that tissue is also tight. That's something that can also be worked on. So there's really no wrong or right way to do this, just kind of better or worse. Good. Okay. Now the first base position that we're going to work in outside of this 90-90 is going to be the 4 position. Okay. So let's do another kind of movement path here. I'm going to set my kickstand and just kind of watch me first. This front leg is pretty much going to stay here. I'm going to make sure I don't have to re-lean. I'm going to pick up my heel and my knee up at the same time without re-leaning. It's very difficult. I'm going to externally rotate. I'm going to extend, keeping it up nice and high. And I'm going to put it down softly. Now I'm here. I need my kickstands on this one. I'm going to work on picking up my heel at the same time as my knee, pulling it in, sitting up nice and tall. Now I'm in a pretty good forward position. Why don't you go ahead and do that? So really what we may feel just in this position now that this leg or knee is extended, a little hamstring stretch, okay? Especially if you have kind of tight hamstrings like this. So we're going to kind of get into that a little bit with a kinetic stretch, all right? So we're not going to do pills and rails today. The kinetic stretch is when we're going to kind of use that muscle, so my hamstring and my hip flexor, the 2 antagonistic muscles here, and I'm going to use my torso and either pushing through the floor or lifting and pushing back to kind of get some change in length and get some response out of that tissue, okay? So what does that look like? First thing I'm going to do is actually let my knee bend a little bit. So the hamstring can kind of be complicated to stretch because some of it crosses the knee and some of it crosses the hip, okay? So whenever we're stretching one, it's hard to get both parts of the hamstring at the same time with a single stretch. So the one that we're going to work out today, which you may feel more out of in a hamstring stretch rather than having the knee locked, is with it bent. You may feel more of his belly right almost down underneath the knee here. So with it bent, not like this, okay, I am going to push, or I'm going to start bending the knee forward, and I'm going to push through the floor, and almost like my heel is going to scoop back to me, okay? So we're getting kind of both actions of the hamstring on this one. So I'm pushing through the floor and back to me, okay? And now what's going to move is going to be up at the hip. So obviously I'm blocked by the floor here. So in this position, stay nice and tall, I'm going to resist but allow some tissue length to occur by me leaning forward. And then in the opposite motion, I'm going to use this hip flexor as if I'm going to pick up my ankle towards my forehead and pull myself down. Okay? We're going to do this a few times. All right. So you get a nice little static stretch here by leaning over. First thing we're going to do is push through the floor, and almost like we're scooping. If I was in sand, I'd be pulling the sand back to me with my heel. Okay? Make sure we stay nice and upright, and the movement is just in here. That has nothing to do with the hip again. Okay? So when I'm here, building tension everywhere, I'm going to push through the floor, scoop back towards me, allow some movement up at my torso, which is actually happening at the hip. And I'm going to pull myself in. So I'm using my hip flexors. Pull myself into a deeper stretch. Good. Now I'm going to start the next one from this even shorter range of motion at the hip. Okay, so I'm going to push away. I'm resisting it, but allowing myself to move. Driving through the floor, not allowing the angle of my knee to change. Pull in, try to pick that foot up, pull myself in, pull. As far as you can, keeping the flat back, push away, scoop the sand towards you. I'm standing upright but also resisting it. Pull back in. Let's see how deep we can get. Pull back in, pull. Okay, let's push. We'll do one more each direction. Push and scoop, resist. Okay, the last time, let's pull ourselves in, try to pick that foot up, forehead towards the ankle, pick it up, as deep as you can here. Pick it up. Good, okay? Relax that leg, go into your basic forward position here. Whew. So if we got that one good, we're going to feel it along the medial hamstring mostly, and I really felt it in my hip flexor as we kind of decrease that angle by folding over. So relax, get our breath normal again. Now we need that shoe, sandal, a baby, a kitten, whatever, that we're going to hover over, sometimes even an iPhone, because this one is going to be very challenging to kind of do well here, all right? So this is not kind of a beginner's exercise. So what I'm going to do is take that object, say your shoe. Today we're going to be putting it on the outside of the foot, just like that. We're going to be doing some hovers, so get ready for your quads to cramp and your hip flexors to cramp. This is going to be pretty challenging. So in this forward position, I'm going to probably need to set my kickstand, okay? I'm going to flex, pick up, go over, and put down softly. That's an important part. So we're not just going to pick up and drop, and then we're going to pick up, over, go down softly. Okay? Look pretty easy, right? As I'm fighting a quad cramp right now in my rectus femoris. Okay. Some important rules here. Control and slow the whole time. Doing it quick does not help us. Second, we can't do that re-leaning that I'm always talking about. So I can't do this. Okay? That is actually not changing the angle in this, the front of the hip here. Okay? And that's using a counterweight, not the muscle to pick the leg up. So you may need to really set and play around with where your kickstands need to be so that you don't re-lean to pick the leg up. So that may be way back here. So if we're really having a hard time, you might even be in this on the elbow position where you can go up, back over, and that's totally cool. If you're advanced, you might be able to pick up, over, down, and then if you're really gymnastic, your mobility and control is awesome. You're actually able to lean forward. I'm not even going to try it, where you're really closing that angle, and that would mean you have a lot of end range strength and good end range conditioning. Okay? We're going to keep it pretty short. We'll do it together. We're going to go over and back 5 times. Slower is better. Try not to re-lean. So you may have to play around a little bit so that you can get in a good position where you're using your kickstands, leaning back so that the torso is not moving, but trying to isolate everything down into this hip joint. The other thing is make sure you have some quad strength here so that when I'm picking up, I'm not getting sloppy, and now I'm disjointed here where I can't pick the ankle up and I'm really just picking up this upper part of my leg. Okay, so our object, which we may need to find a smaller one, or just get it out of the way and just hover over nothing. But we like when we have an object there because it's really going to force us to work into the biggest range of motion that we can. Okay? But people are starters, just might be too much. Okay, I'm not going to use my kickstand, so I'm going to stay up nice and tall. It's like I'm trying to get pulled up. My spine is an extension. I'm going to breathe in, pack my breath into my lower abdomen, core is tight. I am picking up, hovering, putting down slowly. Up, over, putting down slowly. That's one. My quad is cramping already. Reset your kickstands if you need to or find a new position. Up, over, down, up, over, down. That's 2. Up, over, down. That's 3. Need to build more tension here. Up, over, down. Or I should say that's 3. We got 2 more. Keep it slow. Don't re-lean. Up, over, down. Softly. I don't want to hear it. Up, over, down. Last one. We got this, okay? Set a good position here. Make it your best rep. I know things are starting to tighten up. Up, over, down quietly. Last time. Up, over, down. Good job, guys. Okay, we can relax. All right, but we're going to stay in this floor position. We're going to do a quick shoulder routine, and then we're going to switch. Do the same thing on the other side. That was great. That'll give you a good idea of how hard it is, how much work these kind of superior knee extensors, hip flexors work here. My cramp is probably in the muscle we call our rectus femoris, which does both at the same time. It's really overworked. Okay. All right, now I need to stretch out, so I need to get as upright as possible. Now, if we do have really tight hamstrings, that that might mean that you need to bend the knee so that you can get like this. So this is most important. If we're like this, it's going to make everything up in the shoulder girdle that much harder. Okay. So for right now, even though this is our base position we're working from, we can manipulate it a little bit so we can at least make the most out of this shoulder exercise. So what we're going to do is work on abduction and external rotation as we do elbow hinges. Okay? So what does that look like? I'm going to put my hands behind my head. Excuse me. I'm going to use my rhomboids and traps, pull my shoulder blades together, and then from there, externally rotated, pulling the chest open. I'm going to hinge at the elbow, back behind the head, hinge at the elbow, back behind the head. Okay? What does that look like from the side? So in my floor position, I'm working hard, my core's going to work hard, keep them extended, hands behind the head, pull the elbows and the chest open, externally rotated too, which is this, and then I'm reaching out, hinging at the elbow, and back in. So no movement in the shoulder, it's just at the elbow. What am I feeling when I do this? Mostly a nice, awesome burning in the bottom part of my shoulder blades, which is an area that needs a lot more work. That helps us kind of secure the shoulder girdle and keep us in thoracic extension. Okay, so it gets really lazy when we get into kind of this position. All right, so let's do it together. Okay, hands behind the head. Think of the shoulder blades being pulled down and together. Bottom part of the shoulder blades, not up here. Shoulders have to stay down. I'm going to make fists just because it helps me build tension. Pull the elbows apart, pull down and together with the shoulder blades, and externally rotate, which means without the elbows moving forward, I'm going to pull my knuckles away from the back of my head. Keep the head in neutral position. We're going to go out, only hinging at the elbow. 1, 2, fight to stay as upright as possible. Do not dump the chest or the shoulders. 3, squeezing those shoulder blades. 4, so 1 more, maintaining position. 5, back in, good. Okay, let's switch. We'll get into our 4 position on the other side. Back up here. And we'll do kind of the same thing on the other side. So, let's work on that kinetic movement path again. So if I'm here, easiest way to do that, set my kickstands. I'm going to try to pick this ankle up at the same time as my knee. Extend, put it down softly. I already have a quad cramp. And I'm going to pick up this ankle at the same time my knee. Staying upright. Control. Putting it down. Okay. We're doing kinetic stretch first, but we are going to need the shoe in for our hovers. Okay. A good forward position. We're going to stretch out. I don't even like saying bend in the knee. I'm just unlocking the knee so that when I work here, I'm not going into more extension. I'm just kind of unlocking it. You're getting more out of the lower hamstring here. So in this position, let's go into a nice static stretch. Remember that kinetic stretch is when I'm applying force moving in both directions while resisting it. So I'm going to push down through the floor and scoot back towards me. Gear it up, feel that hamstring fire up, push myself up. Now I'm going to use this top hip flexor to pull myself down. You think of being pulled down and trying to pick your foot up. Getting into deep hip flexion. Push away, scooping the sand back towards me. Push, 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 push. Good, pull, pull, pull. Not letting the angle on the knee change. Pull, pull, pull. Push away, resist it, pushing and scooping, pull myself down. Let's get into a deeper position here. We get to our last 2, pull, push away, push, resist, push, good, pull, try to pick that leg up, it's not going to happen, pick it up, pull yourself, we're going to do one more each direction. Good. Push away. Push. Scoop the sand back towards you. Nice and upright. Last one. Deepest pull. Using my hip flexor here. Pull yourself down. Try to keep your back straight as possible. Try to pick up this ankle even when you're in this deep flexion. Try to make the heel lighter on the floor. Pull. Good. Relax. Return your breath to normal. Fix that forward position if you need to. Hover time. So we need that shoe or that sandal, and we got to put it on the outside of our ankle. And don't be surprised if this is harder, more difficult, easier, funkier than doing the other side. So we need to get our kickstands in place, right? So that we can go up and over. We're going to do the same drill, 5 reps. Okay? So I'm going to try to do it again with my kickstands. You need to extend, never give up your torso. Make sure all the work is down here. Be nice and tall, heel and knee at the same time, always putting down softly. Up. 1. 2. After class, let me know if you cramped up doing this. 3. 4, 1 more. I'll get tired. Last time over, up, over, control, down. Woo. Good job, guys. Now, if that's pretty easy, there are kind of 2 ways to advance it. One I talked about where you can really shorten the range of motion at the hip, or you can just get a higher object. So maybe you're taking one shoe and you're putting another shoe on top of it, something like that, where without re-leaning, you can now hover over a bigger object. Okay? That, or, which really doesn't make it hard, kind of go into more flexion and see if you can pick that ankle up. Okay? You really know how strong your hip flexors are. Okay, last drill, and then we're going to be done, which is going to be our shoulders. So last time we did our external rotation. Now we're going to do internal rotation at the shoulder, or we do hinges at the elbow. Okay? So what does that look like? Hands behind the back. Now I'm getting handcuffed. Before I was getting rested, now I'm getting handcuffed. I'm going to pull the shoulders open, and then making a fist, I'm going to reach out behind me as far as I can, and then back underneath the back. Okay, what does that look like? Up nice and tall, hands behind the back, pull the chest open. I'm going to reach as far as I can behind me without dumping the chest. This is what's going to want to happen. Okay? And then work on coming up the back as high as you can without touching. So just skimming my shirt, just like that. Ready? I'll stay in this position so you can see it a little clearly. Staying really tight. We're just going to do nice 5 hard reps and then we're done. Midday mobility break here. Okay, up nice and tall, hands behind the back. Build tension. We're packing our breath in our lower abdomen. Let's lift off by keeping the chest pulled open. I'm going to hinge at the elbow, reaching as high as I can. Keep in tension, almost like you're moving through thick air. Don't allow the shoulders to dump too. See how high you can come up the back without your knuckles touching. 3, 4, I find these a little harder. Last one, keep your pace, keep your control. These are the reps that make it better. 5, come back, how high can you go up the back without touching? Good, nice. Okay guys, good job with today's abbreviated Kinstretch class. Have a great day. I think we'll meet again here if you want more. Saturday at 9 a.m. on Facebook Live. Or on YouTube, you can find a bunch of other videos. Thank you.